Assalamu alaikum and very good morning, my dear students. I hope that you all are fine and doing well. I welcome you all in another Google Classroom. My dear students, in our previous lessons, we have discussed some inventions and discoveries. So, in our today's lesson, we are going to discuss some more inventions. For this, we are going to read textbook pages 102 half till 106. For for prior knowledge, I am going to ask a question from you students. Name a few ways to fly or glide in the air. I'm sure that you must know the answer of this question. So anyways, I'm going to tell the answer of this question. Hot air balloons and hang gliders are used to fly or glide in the air. Students, let's have a look on learning objectives of today's lesson. Students, at the end of the lesson, you people will be able to explain how and when aircraft were first made. You people should also be able to explain how planes fly. You people should also be able to discuss the first aviator. You people should also be able to describe how and when the television was invented and when it was first manufactured. You people should also be able to explain how modern inventions develop from earlier inventions. Name the first television broadcast companies, and you should also be able to describe how and when computer was invented and manufactured. You people should also be able to describe the first modern computer. So students, to know more about the inventions of television and computer, by watching these videos, you can learn or know more about the inventions of televisions and computers by watching these videos. Links are mentioned here, so you can watch these videos. Following are the main points of today's lesson. So let's discuss these. In 9th century, Abbas ibn Firnas made the first glider. The Wright Brothers in USA made the first plane with engine. In 1903, they flew in their plane for 12 seconds, then flew for 5 minutes. Paul Lipkow, a German scientist, invented a spinning disc with holes that scan a picture. John Lagerbiard made a spinning disc that could sound and play them while another disc played the pictures. He called it a televisor. Charles Babbage designed a computer that had wheels and gears. The world's first digital, electronic, and programmable computer was Colossus. My dear students, the first invention which we are going to discuss about is aircraft. So you can see a picture of hang glider. It is an upward flying apparatus for a single person consisting of a frame with a fabric aerofoil stretched over it. The operator is suspended from a harness below and controls flight by body movements. My dear students, long ago scientists tried to find ways to fly like birds. They tried kites, wings made of feathers, and hot air balloons. In the 9th century in Spain, Abbas ibn Firnas made the first glider we know about. He went up into the air on his glider, but it did not fly very far and crashed to the ground. This is the picture of Abbas ibn Firnas, and this is his first glider that he made first in the 9th century. Then the Wright brothers in the USA made the first plane with an engine. First, they tested kites and gliders to learn how to make them stay up in the air. They tested ways to make them start and stop. In 1903, they flew in their plane for 12 seconds, then crashed. They repaired it and tried a few more times. Then they made a new plane that flew for 5 minutes. Later, they made planes that could fly longer distances and land without crashing. In 1905, they flew a plane 24 miles in just over 23 minutes. Before long, they started an airline for goods and then for passengers too. Students, in Italy in the 15th century, the artist and scientist Leonardo da Vinci made a glider using whatever materials he could get. He could not make it fly. 20th century scientists used his plans but made it with modern materials. It could fly for a short while. Leonardo even drew plans for a type of helicopter. Modern gliders. You can see the modern gliders in the pictures. These gliders can fly high and far. A glider is a very light plane that has no engine. Air under the wings keeps it up. When the air moves, it moves the plane. My dear students, the second invention that we have to discuss about is television. At the beginning of the 20th century, there were cameras that could take still and moving pictures without sound. There were gramophones to play sounds recorded on discs. There were phones for sending sounds along wires and listening to them far away. There were radios for listening to sounds sent to the ear. Scientists tried to send moving pictures through the air. In 1884, a German scientist, Paul Nipkow, invented a spinning disc with holes that scanned a picture. It could show the picture on a wall as patches of dark and light. 45 years later, John Logibert made a spinning disc that could scan sounds and play them while another disc played the picture. He called this a televisor. Baird could send moving pictures from his televisor along wires to a type of TV set. Scientists found new ways to work with electronics. They used radio waves to transmit or send moving pictures and sounds through the air. My dear students, the televisor became the first television sold commercially in 1927. 1,000 devices were made using reflected light to create a low resolution image. The TV had a screen about the size of a postage stamp. You can see the pictures of the early television sets. And you know that the first long distance public television broadcast was made from Washington, D.C. on April 7, 1927. The first live broadcast of Pakistan television was on November 26, 1964 in Lahore. Then the TV sets with remote controls came in the markets. The first remotes designed to control televisions appeared in the living room in 1950. In 1950, Zenith Radio Corporation released the first TV remote. Students, many innovations TV has undergone since the original invention. TV has made many new advancements, becoming more and more popular with the time. Nowadays, we can see these type of HD TVs, LEDs and smart TVs in our homes. This is the history of TV sets or television sets. You can see the television was like this in 1930s. Then in 1940s TV was like this. In 1950s TV was like this. In 1960s TV was like this, and in 1970s. In 1980s TV became colorful. Television became colorful and with remotes. In 1990s TV sets, 2000s TV sets, in 2010s now we have till onwards we have LEDs, smart TVs and HD TVs. My dear students, another invention that we have to discuss in today's lesson is computers. You know that since ancient times, people have found ways to help them do calculations quickly and to work with large numbers. The astrolabe from 150 BCE was a type of computer for calculating the movements of the moon, stars, and planets. Later, there were machines for doing calculations. In 1822, the British mathematician Charles Babbage designed a computer that had wheels and gears. It could do calculations in astronomy and navigation. Students, this is Charles Babbage's first computer, the difference engine. He didn't finish building it before going on to make another one. Scientists in the 20th century used his notes and parts he had made to help them to build it. It is in the Science Museum in London nowadays. Students, computers that worked from electricity were made in the 20th century. They could be programmed to do different types of calculations. The world's first electronic, digital, programmable computer was made in England. It was called Colossus. During World War II, the British used it to read the German armed forces radio messages. These are the pictures of the Colossus computer invented in the England in 20th century. Dear students, early small computers were looking like this. Before this, the computers were very big in size and they were not movable or portable. So a small firm named MITS made the first personal computer, PC. The Altair, the first PC computer's name was the Altair. This computer, which used Intel Corporation's 8080 microprocessor, was developed in 1974. It was very popular among the people and its commercial appeal was very limited. Modern computers. Students, modern computers are going to be smaller, less expensive, more powerful, and more efficient, and have more features from the early days. Nowadays, computers perform a diverse array of services and functions and play a major role in people's personal and professional lives. And you can see in our daily life that and computer is a very essential part of our lives, and we can't do anything without computers. And these are the smart computers and laptops, and very smart computers and laptops we use in our daily life nowadays. Students, this is the history or timeline of computers, and you can see the computers in 1940s. 1940s computers were very big and large in size, and they were not easily no one couldn't move easily them. In 1970s computers were looking like this, 70s, and in 80s computers were like this. In 1980s computers were looking like this, and the species were like this. And in 1990s computers were like this. And in 2010 or 2000s we have modern laptops, iPads, and e-books, etc., and very latest and modern computers now we have nowadays in our use. Okay, my dear students, it is time to ask plenary questions. So for plenary, I'm going to ask some questions from you. Question number 1 is, what is a glider? The the other question is, where was the world's first digital, electronic and programmable computer made? I'm going to repeat the both questions. Question number 1 is, what is a glider? And the other question is, where was the world's first digital, electronic and programmable computer made? So students, I'm sure we have discussed all these all the topics in detail, and I am sure that you must know the answers of these questions. Now you would be able to answer the question of these questions orally. So this is your homework. So I'm going to read today's homework. Today's homework is read textbook pages 102 half till 106 pages, plus complete exercise A of page 104 on textbook. Very easy. So students, you are supposed to read the textbook pages 102 half till 106 and at least 5 to 6 times, so that you would be able to answer the questions from anywhere. And you are supposed to do exercise A of page number on 104 on textbook. Yes, these are short question answers, so you have to write one word answer in front of the questions on the textbook. So students, I always say this, that you please be serious about the homeworks and be serious with your studies, because your final exams are coming nearer and these homeworks will carry marks in your final result. So with this is the end of today's lesson. Take very good care of yourself and people around you. Have a very good day, and Allah Hafiz.